Right, okay. We has the started. We should... Are we talking to HodorRaid? We are now talking to HodorRaid. Let's just do... Join. Your... Oh, right, hang on. Raid. Join. I think. God knows. No, let's just get to Pandemonium. Yes, indeed. We will take our shortcut, I think. Yes, indeed. We will head through the Zan area. Use the key. Soto Mohoney, welcome to the stream, you evil ominous spy. Hello from Newland City. Ah, you say you're in Newland City, but are you in fact in Newland City? We don't know. It's a mystery. Could be. Yes, it could. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. That name rings a bell. That name rings a bell. Drama is what that reminds me of. Let's have a look again. Bookface. Yeah, if people are going to start drama on stuff I've worked on, then yeah, I don't really. Fine. Okay. Random. And there you go. Poof. You've gone away. Yay. Ah, just like that. Isn't the interweb fun? Right, where am I? I am going to be over here. Join the raid, join the raid. Go LFT, there we are. We're dead, we're like 10 minutes earlier than normal for this, I think. Somewhere around there anyway. Don't know if I can make it next Sunday, so I'm making the most of it this Sunday. Yeah, it's a long one this evening because we've got iPande, Real Pande, and then Sector 42 with the gap in the middle, for which we will have to think of things to talk about and do. Last time we were talking about, of all things, G.I. Joe, Action Man, Meccano, Lego. Just the most random crap you can imagine. But it's all good. Hopefully this will remember that I have all these here. KP Alexander, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. How the devil are you? Why have I got no Pandemonium music? It's got some of the best atmospheric music in the game. Let's just sound off, sound on. I always miss the sound when it's not there. Fizzgrim, welcome to the stream. How the devil are you? I think generally, whenever I get here via the Zan area, it doesn't play the music when you enter. It has this really good "Dun, dun, dun, you're going to die" kind of music going on. But not today. I ordered my headphones. I did it. I pulled the trigger. The ones I really wanted, the black ones, were like 2-week wait for some reason. And I desperately think I need them now. These seem to be getting more and more uncomfortable. So I just went, you know what? It doesn't really matter what colour they are to me. So I went with these. They're exactly the same. It's just a different colour plastic, you know. So, So I ordered them. Money has been spent. They're open back ivory, apparently. I watched a couple of videos and they looked like they were slightly different between all of them. Oh, that's a good deal. There's a Rode PSMA 1 shot mount. This shot mount you see here, it's a really good one. Fits tons of different microphones, but is designed for the Rode series of microphones. It's down to 33 quid. I think I paid like 50 for it. So that's a pretty good deal. And then the foam thing on the end here, that's gone. Why is it when Amazon does this thing, if you've bought something, then it shows you it again when it's gotten cheaper? You're like, wait, what? It just makes you feel like you've missed out there. Yeah, it just says ordered today. It won't say anything else. But I should get it tomorrow. Yay! So we'll do another stream tomorrow. If I get them at a reasonable time of day, we'll do another one. IT O'Derry, welcome to the stream. Savik, the Queen is here. We'll take a bow. Oh my God, they do that to you. Yes, they do. I'm sure of it. Jeff Bezos showing off his money. No, he got in his massive phallus-shaped rocket and went to the edge of the atmosphere and said he was an astronaut. It's like, no, dude. That you're as much an astronaut as I am an airline pilot because I went on holiday to Mallorca once, or Tenerife, or Germany, or whatever. But I had no part in the flight or anything else of the plane. And to be an astronaut, you have to be mission critical to be an astronaut, and you didn't even actually go into space. I'll let William Shatner have that I am an astronaut because I want Captain Kirk to have been to space in real life. So I'll let him have it, but Jeff Bezos can naff off. Yeah, it does. I'd show you, but I'll dox myself, won't I, if I do that? Will I? I don't know. Hang on. See if I can find my way back to that page. No, it's not the right page. Well, Amazon may think they're flexing, but I'll show you one thing, right? They may think they have the ultimate flex, but look, if you search for the model of headphones, it shows shopping at the top, but the top link is to the Sennheiser site. The second link is the Amazon link. Let me just make sure I'm not doxing myself here. Yeah, that's okay. So there you go. Your last purchase this will arrive tomorrow. Those ones. The black one is exactly the same. It's just black plastic instead of the ivory coloured plastic. It's slightly dearer now and would take over a week. Other than that, they're identical in everything else. These are the original Sennheiser ones. Apparently the black ones are a special thing they did just for Amazon. So I kind of don't want the Amazon ones. I want the Sennheiser's original concept ones. So that's what we're going for. Yeah, and I can't show you anything else. But when I go back to like the orders page, hang on, will it just? No, it's just going to hide that bit. Hold on. I don't want to give you my order number details and all that stuff. So I'm looking at the order page, right? Hang on, and I'm just showing you that one bit of it. But you can see here, like, buy it again. All the things I've bought previously or, you know, recently. And it's showing me the buy it again. And, like, why would I want two of those unless I've got two microphones and whatnot? And, you know what I mean? It's nuts. Anyway, get rid of that. Especially when it shows you things and you go, I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I paid more than that for those. What the hell? And then you just feel like, no, I paid more and you took it away. No. Kind of weird. Yeah, I think the only good thing that ever came out of, I mean, I like the idea that, you know, private businesses and stuff are building rockets for space and stuff like that. But at the same time, those same people don't have a very good reputation on Earth. So George Rockwell Schmidt was talking about it, and he said there's some psychology to this in that there's a certain amount of it to do with the suddenly wealthy and how wealth changes people. And there's a certain degree of wanting to get away from the entire Earth involved with the way this works. And it's just bizarre. I'd rather have NASA do it. Well, me too. I think they've got a proven track record. Yeah, would I get on a ship with Bezos? No. I wouldn't want to be photographed with him. I wouldn't want anyone thinking he was my friend or something. He just, you know. You know, if he said, do you want to come on this trip? But you can come, but because, like, if he'd invited me to come along with William Shatner, I'd have gone. And just like every time they pointed the cameras, I'd just be like, pretend it's not me. But I wouldn't go around calling myself an astronaut after the fact. Because I'm not. I wouldn't be. And neither is he. Oh yeah, how is he exploited? Bragging about how his exploited warehouse workers paid for his trip. He genuinely thought that was funny. That tells you there's something deeply wrong with this person. You know, you should definitely not be, you know, it's definitely a no. It shows you what he really thinks, though, doesn't it? You know, it's like he really doesn't give a toss about the people that work for him. They're a means to an end, you know, and all that kind of mentality. It's quite disturbing. Yeah, and then the weird cowboy hat business afterwards. It was like, wait, what? Why that hat, you know? We has many bodies here. Yes, we do. It's rather good. I'm seeing a lot of people running in ahead of us. I'm wondering if, you know, like, ow. I pulled my arm working on the car because I haven't done that kind of stuff in a while. I'm wondering if they're not going to do real Pande, but they were going into iPande entrance, so I'm guessing we might be alright. It was just back of my mind, I was thinking, I wonder if the real Pande run's going to be real short. Like, everything's dead, you know, when you get there. To be fair, it's probably practical to protect his head. A baseball cap would have done that. And would have looked better on him. The cowboy hat didn't work. You know, just saying. That's something men have to consider as they get older and the hair thins and whatnot, isn't it? You can get sunburn on your head. I'm okay yet, so it's still all there. Not as thick as it used to be, though. I don't care if it goes, it goes. What the hell, you know. I definitely wouldn't, you know, hairpiece and the spray on hair, and I get loads of ads for that because Google knows how old I am and that I'm male, so I get adverts for just for men, you know, to turn your beard back to a darker colour. I'm like, nah. These are wisdom whiskers. Stick your bloody hair dye products up your bum. You know, not interested, don't care. The only time I'd do something like that is if I was like an actor or something and it was for a particular role or something, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't do it just for anything else, though. To be fair, ads for hygiene products for women are equally bad. I wouldn't know. Those I don't get. I might make a separate Google account just for the lols. Fizgrim, I don't know why. Well, because that's their target audience. That's when you start thinking about your own mortality and stuff. Statistically speaking. Yeah. Oh, I get all those. I get the ones for funerals and... I'm like, why do I care? I'll be gone. I want a Klingon burial, thanks. Current callers. Is that up to date? I'm guessing it's close to. Got 3 teams so far. God, assist me. Really? Don't assist me. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I do. Red Queen Bee. My husband get ads for bum job. Well, like hemorrhoid cream sort of stuff. I've not had that one. Yeah, just update. Oh God, I don't have hemorrhoids. I have a healthy diet instead. And maybe I don't have a propensity to get them. They don't run in the family or anything like that. So. I say I have a healthy diet. I have a varied diet, but yeah. I try to avoid eating too much junk food when I can. Saying that, we had takeout on Friday and Saturday. Instead of just cooking a normal dinner. Saison, howdy ladies and gents, how's the weekend treating everyone? It's been a good weekend so far. It was chill. You know what, I binge watched Loki last night. Oh, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Did have a few beers while I was watching it, so that might have played a little bit of a part toward it. I don't know. Probably not, actually. But yeah, it was, I really did. I loved the, I don't want to give out too many spoilers. Loki ends up in a place, and I was getting real kind of, The Good Place vibes from the place he was in when he first got there, but everything is like 1970s furniture and decor, you know, so the carpets, the wall coverings and everything. Oh yeah. And just like all the computers are 1970s computers, and except they're not, but they are, you know. Yeah, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Sounds like a fantastic evening. Yeah, we had takeout pizza, Chicago style, you know, in boxes and stuff. Oh, God, it's good. I had a 12-inch, so that's like 1 foot square of pizza. And it's like, yay thick, you know, like an inch thick. Oh, God, 3 slices and you're like, need a break. Fun fact, many years back I was working on a story which was pretty much the TVA. Is it from the comics, though? That whole story? Is it? I don't know. You know, because they do expanded universes in comics a lot. Loki TVA story from comics? Question mark. We're asking Google. See what Google says. Who was behind this TVA in this? Is it in the comics? TVA. Oh, it is, yeah. Unpacking the TVA comic book origins. Oh, well, there you go. So it is a written story already kind of thing. There's no reason you can't have something similar, because The Good Place is quite similar. Men in Black is kind of similar. Man from U.N.C.L.E., a little bit similar. You know, clandestine, big organisation, although Men in Black is a bit more grounded, although it's space aliens. And The Good Place is, you know, asks lots of philosophical questions, but is very comedic as well. Notum rifting opens up a wide range of time travel theories. Well, isn't that the Notum rift thing is the Shadowlands thing, isn't it? That's how they kind of co-opted it into Anarchy Online's storyline. Although it was going to be its own game anyway, but... And they went, no, let's just make it an expansion for this game, because it's using all the same basic assets and engine and coding, etc. So they just shoehorned it into Anarchy Online. It didn't really fit the storyline, though. But they've done quite a good job of linking them together since, I think. I think the Zan expansion is there to sort of tie it all together as well. People say, oh, it's very, very disjointed, but it kind of is and isn't. It sort of links up in places, you know, with AI. You know, the aliens arrived because the guardian of the source has gone, which was the beast, etc., and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, you could also ask the question, how the hell does Camelot fit into the sci-fi storyline? But it's there. Notum rifting is a strange theory where Notum occupies all space at all times it has ever occupied. As such, the Notum mines regenerate. Oh, right, okay. It used to be if you Googled just the word nanocrystal, it would bring up 1,000 links to Anarchy Online and Anarchy Online sites. But if you Google nanocrystal now, it's another experiment before we start. We just type they exist. They're a thing now. You've got to go a long way before you find Anarchy Online in that search. You're like page 18 of Google, you know. Which just feels bizarre to me that's where that is now. Soto Mohoney, subscribe with Prime. They've subscribed for 16 months. Currently on a 16-month streak. Thank you very much for the resub, Soto Mohoney. Appreciate the support, dude. The only thing that occupies more space for more time is Omnitech's affection for you. Okay. Omnitech is such a friend. Yes, we have the emote. Omnitech is your friend, or else. Yeah, Omnitech is the TVA in the Loki sort of story. I might have to rewatch the last episode because I can't remember much about it, but except I was like, come on, get to the resolution of the story arc. I want to go to bed. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, like, oh my God, kind of thing. We have all the baths running. Yes, we do, including we now have 1,441 NCUs. It's kind of nuts. I have to say, it is kind of nuts. And it's going to get more in a second, I think. I've got active viral compressor running. Or is that all the... it's a lower level fixer, so... Because Savick isn't here on her fixer, you see. That's what it is. Are you turning up for Sector 42, Sav, or...? Yeah, I'd like to see more kind of stuff like Loki. I tell you what I'm looking forward to, though. Tell you what I'm looking forward to is the new Obi-Wan series. If they do as well as they've done... I mean, the best stuff they've done since the original trilogy is Mandalorian, Rogue One, and Boba Fett. They're really good Star Wars. They feel like Star Wars. They really do. I'm helping Daylar with her pen quest at the minute. Oh, I'd have come and done that as well. Daylar's got a paid toon then. Because when you say Daylar, I immediately think, oh, my favourite Froob fixer that's constantly buffing everyone. What I like about this one is it only lasts for so long, but you don't lose the item. You build a bonfire to ward off the cold. I've been playing Prey as well today. I had quite a lot of fun with it because once you've played it once, you kind of know which weapons are worth upgrading or which are not and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I kind of went, right, got the shotgun, start upgrading it immediately and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I can't wait to get these headphones. No more itchy ears, no more sore ears or sweaty ears. I know it's expensive, but I think it's got to be worth it, you know? Someone's taken my bonfire and replaced it with another picnic table. I always want to say picnic, the same way Yogi Bear used to call it, you know, picnic basket. It was like somehow there was an extra syllable in that word. Somehow. Soldier Russell, welcome to the stream. Okay, let's hope it's work safe. It's not a cat video. Someone working with aluminium by the look of it. Somehow sexual. No, it's really not. Could be aluminium. Yeah, that's aluminium, I think. Yeah, there's loads of really good videos of metalworking and building, you know, samurai swords. It's tin solder, is it? Makes you thirsty. You don't want to drink that, mate. Yeah, it could be solder, yeah. Something that melts before it seems to glow in our visual spectrum. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Chill. And, oh god, don't be late. Forbidden drink. Well, it would make a right mess of your throat and intestines and stomach and mouth if you put molten metal in it, even if it's solder. It's still way hotter than you can stand. Yes, don't drink molten metals. Health and safety tip for today. Spa 2112, welcome to the stream. Hello all, I was up this morning at 3:30 Texas time and there were many people playing. Oh, that's good to hear. I suppose. What time was 3:30 Texas time for you? Oh yes, proc reminder for myself. Here we go. What time is 3:30 Texas time? I can't look just now because we're in the middle of killing a boss. Die, Leo, die. Is that more like Eurocentric time? 3:30 Texas time. 9:30, that's kind of, yeah, that's a bit early in the morning for AO in the UK. I wish Pande did not have fight music as it start and stop before the last one finished. Yeah, it's dynamic though, isn't it? So it depends. It's based on what you're fighting. If what you're fighting gets killed before you know, by someone else, then the music goes and stops. Currently, we're UTC in the UK, and in the summer we go UTC +1. So it's that kind of deal, you know. Everybody run now. Yeah, if AO was ever modernised into 64-bit, which isn't going to happen, but it could have more sound channels and stuff. It could work a lot more interestingly. Whether it would work at all as it is, you know, is I have no idea. I'm not a code monkey. I don't know. Sky Cannon 2.0, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How the devil are you? Not getting any battle music at the moment. I don't know why. It does this to me sometimes. It's usually when I tab in and out of game kind of thing. So you get this slight weirdness with it. But hey. I think it has to do with that when you're tabbing in and out. Because that's when it seems to stop. But then if I unplug the sound and plug it back in again like this, if it's going to play music, it'll start doing it again. You don't need 64-bit for more sound channels. For the game to be able to run them via triggers inside the game, it would help. It would run a lot better. I mean, you listen to VSTs that are 32-bit versus the 64-bit versions, and yeah, they're noticeably better, more efficient. Because what happens is because it's all going on one core, you know, deciding what triggers are going to fire off which files, and you get thousands all happening at once or hundreds all happening at once in a big raid, it starts falling over. So by having 64-bit, you could have 16 lanes of that all happening in real time. It might sound pretty janky though. But the sound files in the game are uncompressed WAV files. I mean, they're not high quality compared to. I mean, when the game was made, MP3 was quite a new sort of thing, and it wasn't nearly as good as it is now. But for streaming the music inside a game, using like Opus 251 would be ideal, really. You know. It was Gemini in Shadowlands that made it special, that's for sure, yeah. How was your GSP 220 party? I shouted it out in events, even though I couldn't be there, because we while I was doing the stream, unbeknownst to me, Mrs. Callos 2 decided, well, it's the last Saturday of the holiday. So we're going to have takeout pizza, like really nice takeout pizza. Yeah, DirectX 11 Plus it does, yeah, but Anarchy Online in the vanilla game is only DX7, remember? So it does struggle. It's the way it's designed is most of the problem. Oh, it was what you and Sal were on about. Yesterday's GSP party, yeah. Jemmykins. I saw the notification and then I put it in events, but because it's a different Discord server, you couldn't see the post properly unless you joined that server, which is, you know. I remember the original Half-Life, to make the on-disc game size smaller, to have the game music, you had to have the game disc in a CD player, and it played the music from the disc. Yeah, but when AO came out, I had an ISA sound card, a Sound Blaster Super 16 or something like that it was called. It was a good card. For its time. You can still, yeah, if you get music production dedicated sound cards and such, they have onboard processors still. You go to the Audient ID4 and higher kind of stuff, and it does all the DX processing on the sound card, so you can run it on a laptop or whatever and not melt the laptop trying to keep up with the production and get stuttering in your playback. Because when you're doing like production creation, I mean, I always run my audio at 24-bit 48 kilohertz, because at 24-bit you've got much more dynamic range. You've got like an additional 30 dB, which means your sound floor is much lower, so you get less hiss on recordings and stuff. And lag. Just rubber banded back along the wall there. It's my own damned fault. Nowadays everything is run via software, it's true. And once you do that, then yeah, you can, you know, depending on the power of the PC itself. But yeah, I used to do stuff on the old sound cards, like loading sound fonts, they were called. And you'd use system memory and it would share some with the graphics card itself. It was quite cool. Use the Atari ST for the MIDI. Oh my god, yeah, I remember MIDI. Oh, that was fun. Atari VT and Cubase and all that stuff. I remember doing all that. And trying to get your channels configured with that. Oh my god, if you got it wrong, it just sounded awful. You can do it in software now. I did end up buying it from them as I could offer them a mister that could run run all the Atari software they needed and cleaner output. Yeah. It was limited what you could do on those, the old ones. So they were running their MIDI via Cubase and stuff. My god. It's not like that anymore. It still follows a lot of the same logic and stuff, but like you use, like I used to use Cakewalk until it was called Sonar for multi-track and stuff like that. And yeah, that was really, really good. and then you could, like, a click of one thing on the screen, you could change the MIDI lanes and everything else. So if you downloaded somebody's MIDI file and you were working with it, trying to make it trigger your, you know, like addictive drums or something like that, and all their channels were not the same as yours, you could switch it to legacy and stuff like that, so it would work with it. It's really good. Mister is an FPGA CPU based emulator, so it emulates the hardware perfectly. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's going to run a hell of a lot faster and smoother without any hiccups and such. Yeah, I remember the early days. I think my first proper band, we had the keyboard player, and he had didn't have a DX7. It was the Yamaha DX27, but it had a lot of the same sounds in it. It could do a lot of the same tricks. My God, we thought it sounded amazing at the time. You know, we were like, wow, we sound, you know. It could do loads and loads of stuff, and it had those old FM synths. Oh my God, they used to have so much air in the upper end and the higher frequencies. Really breezy and open sounding. Really nice. I guess the question was asked, do we have an AI event today? Nope. January number 22 is the next AI Space Quest-esque event. As Space Quest said in the chat and in-game, and I said 50 million times, for 2022 the AI events will be bi-weekly. By the time people actually realise, you know, that sinks in for people and becomes the norm, it'll be 2023. We joked. Because it always is like that, you know it is. But you can run an Atari ST on a Raspberry Pi that costs $25, but the OS needs to do something else while it's emulating, gives it delay. Yeah, FPGA is not an OS-based system yet. It costs $400. Ooh, right. Yeah, sounds like it would. Yeah. Yeah. By the time people get used to the idea that it's twice weekly, it'll be something else because it'll be 2023. You know, Space Quest asked me to do little tiny things for him, like, can you mention this in chat? Can you let people know this and all that kind of thing? Wolfgang951, I take it HodorRaid is clan only, clan and neutral. Raid for All do a similar thing, and Raid for All is like the name, it is any faction. And I do raid with Raid for All occasionally. Usually it's just on big events sort of stuff, because they will kind of divvy out the loot a little more fairly, stop people farming it. But there was another one. There was the IGN raid group has formed, and they're really polished and slick. We went with them last time, it was good as well. Yeah, well, I've got lots of points on Hodor. I've had two ACDCs through raiding with Hodor, and you know, quite a chill bunch of people. I just joined because, you know, they're quite easy to go raiding with. That's it really. If, you know, if my tunes were Omni, then I'd be looking for something else, wouldn't I? trying to concentrate here because he put me as a caller, so I'm like, need to grab the pink. Yeah, Raid for All is flat roll. You know, can work in your favour, but also you could go and do 20 sector 42s and never get a damn thing as well. You know, so swings and roundabouts, I guess. The less time you have to play, the more appealing flat roll is, and the more time you have to play, the more appealing points-based system is, you know, better for you, so to speak. Yeah, it was, can't remember who, there was an Omnibot raid bot, but I can't think what it was called now, and they were points-based, but yeah, they kind of died off, I guess. I don't actually know what happened with it. Hellcom, that was it, yeah. Does anyone know what actually happened? It just... people just get bored of it, or the people running it quit, or whatever. Eventually, I click the correct thing. The owners migrated to 2019 and then left the game when 2019 died. God. Well, that's a shame. They got banned is what a lot of people did. A lot of people were doing naughties at one point with giving themselves stuff via the accounts page, and, well, you know, Funcom will protect themselves from stuff like that. As we've seen before, they seem not to care, but until somebody tries to take anything from them, and then they suddenly care very, very much. It's possible they did, I don't know. I don't know. It's speculation. I haven't heard from them, and I didn't know them either, so I have no idea. Oops, somebody died. Oh no. Well, they were basically stealing money from Funcom. You know, is the way Funcom see it. So, you know, they're going to protect themselves, aren't they? Kind of glad those who did it got caught. Yeah. Mostly I do, but I think some people were, you know, got sucked into the black hole of Banhammer. You know, might have been mitigating circumstances, like Scott. Someone said, "Oh, I can fix that." You know, like he paid the money to Funcom for armor or some such, and never got it, and was sat on a ticket for 6 months waiting for them to do something about it. And someone he knew said, "Oh, I can fix that for you," and he went, "You can?" and said, "Oh, well, go on then," thinking it would be okay because he, you know, legitimately had paid for the, you know, the in-game items or whatever. But that flagged his account, and they, you know, banned all his accounts because they were linked. I think that was kind of harsh, and, you know, but not my call to make, was it? So, yeah, he said himself he knew there was a chance there was some comeback, and he put his hand, but, you know, Scott isn't daft, and he's not a coward either. He put his hands up and said what happened, which is why we know, because he just said, "Look, this is what happened," you know. Now, I kind of respect him for that as well. You know, people send me... who was the bot that was actually tracking everyone on the server? They sent me a message on Discord saying, "Oh, you know, could you do a video on, you know, our website with this interactive map that shows you where everybody is and whatnot?" And I went, "Wait, what?" And it was like, "No, and your website is full of JavaScript, so Even more no. Yeah, that site got taken down, and the in-game bots got banned from the game as well. I don't know what they were playing at with that. That was very dodgy. I just said, look, just no, okay? And walked away from it. I didn't sort of make a big song and dance about it or anything, but yeah, somebody figured out what was going on. I didn't know they were tracking people in-game though. Whether or not they were flagged, and yeah, very dodgy. Yeah, I saw Scott had sort of come back for a short spell. And then he did a couple of Xbox streams. Some driving game. The bot was creepy. Yeah, it was. Tracking people in-game like that is, I mean, that... Do you want stalkers? Because this is how you get stalkers. Yeah, that was the site, I think. You keep track of clan tower fields and how many was active in the orgone in the field. Yep. And Funcom rightly got rid of it. Banned all their in-game. For these things to work, there has to be linked to something that's logged into the game somehow. So it was extremely dodgy. That pink down? It is. Okay. Where's this other one? What's that? Okay, it's down. That's both waves. Let's punch it, Chewy. I tried to register an Omni Tower Field on it and they just banned me. Yeah. This is why people go, why don't you make PvP videos? PvP is a mess. And it's not, people blame the game, people blame Funcom and all that, but it's not. It's people that do it, Yes, they've left loopholes that people can exploit and blah, 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 but, people are still making the choice to do it, aren't they? You can't blame... why did you steal the loaf? Well, it was left there. Well, no, you've still stolen a loaf. Just because you found it easy to do, is a reflection on you, not on the owner of the loaf. It's very simple. In Love and War, yeah, people will, given mankind's natural propensity is towards being opportunistic. That's why we've survived for as long as we have, and survived an ice age, and then all the other stuff is our ability to take advantage and adapt. That's a survival trait, and it's a very strong one in people. It just is. Well, they don't want to pay someone to come and try and fix it. Simple as that, really. Maintenance mode does mean what it means. It means that we're not going to do anything with the game. That, that's what it meant when they announced it. And then you get people coming up on the Discord and they're, yeah, and they can. But this is the thing. Nobody's holding a gun to your head, though, are they? I keep seeing the same whiny arguments going, oh my god, this game costs this much, why aren't they maintaining it? Look, it says, it's the cards are dealt in front of you, you play them or you don't. You know, the game is what it is. Play it or don't play it. Nobody's forcing you to, you know. Yes, I think they could do better with, you know, the customer service and payment system really does need a kick up the bum. But I don't get to make the decision on it. So the way I have to look at it is, you know, kind of dispassionately and just say, right, this is the game. Is the 50p a day to play the game worth the money? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, the sub price is simply that. It costs you this much. It's like a nightclub, yeah, has a price on the door to enter, yeah. The price on the door doesn't guarantee you know, you're going to meet someone and blah, 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 or have a great night. It's just, that's how much it is to come inside the nightclub. It's that kind of a thing. And, you know, cards are on the table. It's not a con. But the way people carry on about it is just like, look, it is what it is. Play it or don't play it. But don't, you know... What, it's in maintenance mode? Yeah, it is. It was a widely reported story. It was even on the launcher for like 6 months. You know. So they kind of go, right, it's in maintenance mode now. Take it or leave it. That's the deal they're giving everyone. It's still one of the best games ever made. And yeah, I wish there was, you know, content development, expansions, new stuff, and overhauls and all the rest of it. But yeah. When you buy any item, do you search the last 15 years of history of the seller? That's a bit of a weak kind of point to try and make. And in my case, yes. Before you go to a restaurant, don't you look at reviews? Or do you just walk in? Even if you're out on the town, should we go and eat here? Let's have a look. Oh no, come on, we'll find somewhere else. Where's nearby? Let's have a look. Oh, these are nearby, 5 stars. Yes. I thought that as well. I said this about the 2019 server as well. I said my recommendation would be to make the 2019 sub only, but a separate subscription. So make it a like $5 a month sub to play on that server. Otherwise, the same boxes that cause problems hoarding things on the live server are going to go to the new server and do it there, and that's exactly what happened. So, you know. When you buy something on eBay, do you check the seller's rating? Of course you do. Before you buy a game, do you read reviews about it? Well, you should do. So you kind of like, the question you're asking is, yeah, of course I do. What is real Pande? Real Pande is Pande, non-instanced Pande. It is a playfield within the game, like any other, that anyone can access. So with instanced Pande, you all have to be in the same raid group to come in and to do. Do you know what I mean? So real Pande, however, we could go in, there could be another bunch of people already in there having killed half of the playfield. No one can claim it, whereas an instanced Pande is the reverse of that. It's exclusive to the people in there. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a guess, isn't it? Would they make more money? Would reducing the income the game makes by 1/3 gives them 2/3, more, or by 2/3. It's £15 now, right? So if you reduce the income of the game by 2/3, you're going to have to increase the amount of customers, so your footfall through the game, by how much? What is the actual math for that? How many more transactions do you need to recoup a 2/3 loss? And the answer is it's not 2/3 more people. Believe it or not, because it ain't. Because the running costs go up. And there's a big copy and paste paragraph. Funcom acquired intellectual property rights for Conan, Mutant, Solomon Kane and other works based on the writings of Robert E. Howard. In September 2021, Funcom stated that with this acquisition, alongside a new game, they plan to merge these into a new studio, Heroic Signatures, and release a new game based on these properties. On December 2nd, 2021, it was announced that they would sign an agreement with Nuclear, and Nuclear would develop its own Dune survival game. Yeah, it's not a survival game though, is it? It's like a resource management-y sort of game that they've announced. It's not like, Rust or, one of them. Because survival game, that's kind of what I think of is like a Rust or The Forest or, that kind of thing. But it's not quite that, is it? I mean, that's a massive IP they've got there. Dune, really. But I think you find a lot of Dune fans aren't interested in video games. And a lot are. Some people are just a fan of the books and they're happy with just that and don't ever watch the movies even. I think they're missing out on the newest movie because that was excellent. But yeah, the dropping it by 2/3 doesn't really work. You need to outlay an awful lot on advertising and promotion to make it work. Like with Hollywood movies, they cost, X 100 million to make. They spend at least that again just on promoting the film. And that can't be recouped unless they sell enough tickets in theatres. Where you spend 15 quid to watch a 2-hour movie. So Hollywood offers you $15 to watch something that could be a complete turkey once, and AO says $15, the same ticket price, gives you access to the game for 28 days. Online advertising, no, it's massive. It's a massive investment. Movies still, spend millions just to get one advert at a Super Bowl game or something like that, And then there's all the physical billboards and posters and advertising on various media outlets, and all of that is really, really expensive. Yeah, it used to be the game studios worked on a game, magazines and blog sites and whatever took an interest in it. And that was kind of then the game released and the reviews came out. You know, some reviewers would get an early copy or something like that. But the game was the game. You bought the disc. Is how it used to be. It's kind of the same. Uses a lot of the same things. Advertising's advertising. Promotion is promotion. I'm not seeing a Zod. This is what happens in Real Pande. Also, the mobs in Real Pande are tougher. I mean, I'd ask someone that runs a major advertising and promotion firm, you know, how different it is, and I think you find it's not. Because the same firms handle both. I mean, you're not going to see billboards for a game in the same way, but look at the advertising for Death Stranding. It was promoted as though it was a movie. Very, very similar. You know, they do the same things. The game creators go on the same talk shows and talk about the game, etc. Very, very similar business now. We has an Ares to kill. I mean, when they were promoting No Man's Sky, he was on loads of, like, they kept interviewing the same lead dev. Okay, I'm leveling my not-so-baby keeper. What level are they now, then? Yeah, advertising and promotion has gotten more and more related because the outlets for it to advertise on have become more and more merged and similar. I mean, when Sony gets stuck behind it, they put, you know, it was Sony that put the leader of Hello Games, you know, the kind of chief dev there, put him on the Colbert Show. Try keeping your nerve on that. Been interviewed by a guy that savvy. You know, the way we ingest media and news and advertising now is very different than 20 years ago. But the way things are advertised has changed for everything in that regard. I mean, you see adverts for movies on videos on YouTube, you know. Well, most advertising is purely online now. All advertising is. Yes, it is true for movies. Purely no, because they still cling to billboards and things like that. But a massive amount of their advertising is online now. You know, they go on a TV show that's a streaming service, therefore it's online. Movies, games, books, TV shows, they all get promoted in more or less the same way now. Because the access to get your message to people is the same. The way to do it is the same. It has to go, you know, it's going through the same channels, etc. I mean, I can only watch clips of the Colbert Report on YouTube, and I watched the condensed interview with the guy, you know, No Man's Sky guy on the Colbert Show. I've seen other game devs turn up on that show as well. It's usually a massive company behind them like Sony or similar that are, you know, paying for all that to happen because, you know, the guy's got to travel from one country to the States and all the rest of it to appear on that show in their studio. that's massively expensive. And games are done in the same way with movies now. They do all the junkets as well. I think there's another team here. So you see the movie stars doing all the junkets. Sat in the same room being interviewed one after the other by a bunch of journos. Aussie Man Reviews turns up and does stuff with them. The next YouTuber turns up and does stuff with them. Some TV company turn up and do their bit with them, etc, etc, you know. And they do the same with games a lot now as well. They're bleeding into that. Certainly did that with, you know, bigger release titles. As soon as you get a, you know, a Goliath-sized business like Sony, who has the fingers in all the pies anyway, because, you know, Sony own EMI, Warner Brothers, and God knows. You know, what don't Sony own these days? You know, so there's a lot of bleed over comes through from that as well. Yeah, and the cheap subscription as well, that doesn't always work out either. It was cheap for Star Wars The Old Republic. That was like $5 a month. And that kind of ended up dying on its arse. And just becoming like a middling sort of game. It's busier than AO, sure, but it's just a WoW clone. With a Star Wars kind of themed skin on it. The class single player type quests and stuff are really good. It's worth getting the game just to go through all of those. A lot of game there. But then once you get into endgame and raiding and whatnot, it's basically WoW. They've just copied it. And the cheaper sub price is... you know... It didn't make the game better. People played it, figured out what it was. People are smart. You know, they make a choice whether or not they're willing to commit to that. You know, and they started off with God knows how many servers, and then they kept condensing down and down and down. I don't know how many servers are running now, but it's a hell of a lot less than it used to be. Second mid, follow the walls. Special Doja chip Pandemonium. I used to love getting one of those, doing research at the end game. Very, very handy. Anyone having deja vu coming through real Pande? The mobs are a little tougher, and they respawn. I think they respawn faster, maybe? I'm not sure. I think the big difference for movies is because they still have physical venues and stuff like that. So if you want your movie to play in a theatre, in the cinema, you've got to go through mostly, you know, the Hollywood machinery. Which is why the advertising... Some movies spend more on advertising than they did on the movie. And that happens quite often, actually. Yeah, it does look like they respawn a bit faster, so... Difficult to say. Because when there was only real Pande, we were all a lot more feeble than we are now on our characters, you know? Characters now are a lot stronger than they used to be then. Oh, and Pande used to be super contested as well. That used to be annoying. It was quite, and there wasn't, in the early days there was no raid like this where, you know, the combined damage of all the teams in the raid dictated whether or not you won loot on something. It was one team versus the next team because there was no raid in the game. There was raids done, but everyone was at best in, you know, a team in the same chat. That was it. There was none of the rest of it. Oh, the memories. Everyone morphed into a little leet. It used to take an awful lot longer time as well. It was like a whole evening to get Pandemonium done. I remember that back in the day. We just didn't have the firepower we've got now. You know, endgame soldiers with Pandemonium beamers and whatnot. First thing I'm going to do when we finish this raid is go make another cup of tea. I has decided. Robos keep on an endgame soldier set up for PvP using superior Pandemonium beamer and lots of hot... Oh god, I remember doing the hot swap thing. Who's... Philly Joker showed me like his setup and I tried to copy it. I wasn't very good. I wasn't as good as he was. Any significant changes to game mechanics in the last 1 to 3 years? New items, new armors. Most of the big stuff all happened in 2015 with the 18.7 changes. And they're probably the most major changes to the game, classes within the game it's ever had, really. Well, you know, for them to all happen at once. It was a big rebalance of perks and nanos, and all of that got changed. Pets got changed, and Yeah. SPB, Supernova, Piercing Evil, then Org Weapon for... Oh, yeah. Yeah, sounds familiar. And then AI came out, and everybody had AI weapons and such. For PVM, they were good. Yeah, they've added different bits and pieces and tweaked stuff in here and there, but nothing major, no. No significant stuff. I mean, Awakened Armor is probably the biggest sort of shake-up. Because it basically gives every class the potential for a complete heal. You know, if you can farm it and build it and everything else. Awakened Beast armor set in PvP was quite a big shake-up. Especially for agents, because it was like they've got one complete heal if they're FP doc and then another one from the armor. You know, so you'd be blowing all your alpha and main damage on someone, getting them down to like the last 10% and there's bang, full health. I don't know if it's overpowered or not, because I don't really PvP anymore, so some people claim it is, some people say it's the best thing that ever happened, it evened up a lot of stuff for people, some people disagree, but you know, you're going to get a different, you know, for every person you ask, you'll get a different opinion. Someone just popped their shadow breed then. Sure, I just saw it underneath the subjugator's feet. How nice of them. Depends on the prof. Really is. Some is really OP and some it's actually worse to use. Yeah, there you go. Depends what you're going for, really. I mean, AO still is quite sandboxy, you know, with character build and whatnot and twinking. It's what makes it so fun for me. It's like the game within the game. Yeah, we're taking too long here. You don't have to be out of aggro to zone anymore. Used to. That used to make blitzing into Pande really, really difficult. Because if you had mobs chasing you, you couldn't use the portals. I remember that being a thing. And being like, oh, jumping up on walls to get rid of aggro. Feet means feet. Go to the feet. Oh crap, lost the tank. That's not good. I think maybe the dock lagged or something. We've got a backup tank anywhere or anything? I hope so, or it's going to be a bit of a naff beast run. We don't have a backup. We've got another enforcer here, so... No, run, Sam. No. We will avenge you. Bad luck. And I know Run Zamp is a brilliant tank. So, yeah. Kind of nuts. Yeah. I'm not sure if that was people straggling behind or something like that, you know? Portals will be gone by now. If you're gonna die, do it on iPande, because all the portholes stay up. So if you die, you can just blitz back. Yes, the fabulous music when you enter the beast lair. Dun 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 type music, you know? See, if they had a nano mage assault rifle shade now, he'd have been taking this. Yeah, right. Can't use totemic rights with a ranged weapon. I don't think. I can test that, actually. Just take off my weapons on my current shade and just equip a Loki pistol and just see if I can use totemic rights or not. Someone said you couldn't, but I don't know. Never tried. Got to try harder. Don't forget the ads. Yes, don't. Forget the ads at your peril, so to speak. We've got... Need some Grand Theft on the beast. Had to take a phone call. Welcome back. Hope it was a good call. We will fix it. We will carry on. We will get it done, etc. Netmal, now I can watch the stream. Very good. You've been busy. Been chilling. I ended up leveling really quite quickly on the keeper, I think. All things considered. I think the fastest though was that doing the enforcer. That was really quick, but every week we had the lovely XP boost from Space Quest. And doing the AI events, you also got XP everywhere as well. So it did make it go really quick. And doing, you know, like all the quests and stuff on stream. Pretty cool. I'm going to try and make a new tune this week as well. I just don't know how to do it a little different. And if it's completely GIMP, I'm going to delete it. You know this. Don't think I won't. I've deleted 215 level tunes before now. I will do it. Nano-made shade sounds terrible though. And a shade that can't use their perk lines is no shade at all. It's like, oh my god, you know. Yay. Right, so time to chillax a bit. I'm gonna go make a cup of tea. And stuff. Because the next one is like, literally 59 minutes from now. We will have Sector 42. Kadunk. Every time I go through kadunk. It's been a while since I've been able to make the beast runs on a Sunday. Real life commitments and whatnot have to come first. Yeah. Spook. Into ICC, where frame rates go to die. Mad that offhand comment became its own meme and eventually a t-shirt. That's kind of nuts. "2019 I did a soldier. Immediately after I did this keeper I'm on now, because mainly that was for Brutal, which is why it's called Brute Cal. Because he really wanted to see me do a keeper let's build, and he was going through chemo and all that kind of stuff, so yeah, I was happy to do that. Give him just, one more thing to hold on for. Apparently he's recovered in that, so in remission, so to speak. Haven't seen him online for a very long time. I do hope they're okay. I genuinely do. Shotgun crat is fun. Yeah. Can you do PDKPs on a crat? That'd be quite cool. MA soldier. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to be so much fun. Yeah, lots of twinking. Yeah, I would think so, yeah. Right, I am taking these uncomfortable headphones off. They're fine for what they're meant to be for. It's the kind of thing a DJ would use for 5 minutes where they're queuing up a track and that kind of thing, and be able to clearly hear what they're doing in that respect, versus sitting for long periods doing this. Doing it when you're doing this is much more long-term use sort of thing, which is why I'm glad. Order's done. New headphones are on their way. Hopefully I'll get them a reasonable hour tomorrow, and then maybe do a test stream with them, see how I do. Might not be Anarchy, might do Prey or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go and make a drink. I will be back. I will leave you with the intermission screen of an empty chair, but also some cool music in the background. Back in a minute, guys. Yes, I've lost a little round the middle. Pants are starting to go down. Right, back to the live screen. Melee energy crap. It's possible, yeah. Wouldn't be inordinate amounts of damage. As you are back, here, take a cat. Immature. Oh, come on with this thing they doing. Lopnik, subscribe to Tier 1. They've subscribed for 15 months. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you very much for the resub, Lopnik. Hey, Carl, hope things are well. They are pretty good. All right, let's have a look at this. Okay. Cat's gonna cat, y'all. Fair enough. What is they inferring there? The cat was pressing the camera on the phone or something and taking the pictures themselves. Okay, I've got an alarm going off. Better go and deal with it. It's got music, but that link is super load and did not. Okay. I have to be careful playing any kind of music on the while streaming and whatnot. You sometimes get away with it on Twitch, but then as soon as you export your video to YouTube, they're all over you. Suppose I'll swap to dock then. More bidding. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I have to be, you know. I don't think I've had any copyright strikes in a while. And they're not actually a strike, it's a claim, is the difference. A strike is like quite scary. What are they talking about on Discord? Yeah, I mean, we had 4 seconds of Sultans of Swing, and it got claimed. 4-hour video. No, belongs to us. What? You know, a little bit ridiculous. I'm just quickly checking my emails in the background here. No update on my Amazon order. Not that I thought there would be. Yeah. Where did you come from? Stop that. Silly. Let's have a look, see. Do I know where you can get a decent USB mouse from? Anywhere these days. Currys even sell Logitech mice. The 502 is generally regarded as one of the best gaming mice, but there's loads. Razer have got some good stuff now, and you find one that's comfortable in your hand. That's the most important thing, is that you're comfortable with it. I can't find a mouse big enough for my hand, and they don't make one anymore. The original Explorer was big enough, but most others, they always feel like a tiddly little mouse. Oh, you feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. One love, is it? One love 3, I'm assuming one love, has reached enlightenment. I think I made a store in Spain get shock yesterday, ordering Workbench 3.1 and 3.2 for Amiga. No mass sales. Your Carl gave you his old USB keyboard. It is One Love. I thought it was, yeah. And she is an orc mate. Ah, well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I saw the thing for the new Dune IP that Thingy has. Oh, I haven't released the video from... I thought I'd release that. Have I not released that? Yesterday's HodorRaid. No, has not released that yet. I'll do that after this stream. I'm thinking. Yeah, that makes more sense. Checking my emails in the background now. I've got too many emails, I've decided. No, nothing interesting, all those, basically all junk. God, I get weird BS ads. Never understand why I get served the ads I do. There's no way they're of interest to me, but hey. I live in like a new build house which has like ridiculously good heating and everything else. And I keep getting ads for heaters. Why would I use that? That would be stupid to use that. And yet, they just keep sending me ads for those. I think the worst ads I get served on email are probably from TalkTalk. From that account. Some of them are just bonkers though. They really are. Still, we live and learn. It's the world we live in. I've got more blocked advertisers on Facebook than soft Mick. It's ridiculous how many ads you have to block on their platform. I know their whole platform thing is, you know, that they serve ads. That's how they make it. That's their business, you know. But some of them are just so bad. It's just like you feel sorry for the person in the advert, you know. Oh God. Yeah, it's nuts. No, Gridstream are doing a thing. Oh, no blissful elevations. Apparently, I caught sickles. What? Oh, I think Jemmy Toons is saying she's not very well and not going to do a show. I think that's what she meant there. I'm checking all my Catching up with everything now. Because it's like this whole downtime for an hour between the two raids. Kind of seems nuts, but it does make sense. It's to do with different raid groups kind of organising themselves so they don't stumble over each other in there. The yummy food section of the Discord is perplexing sometimes. Yeah, has bad allergies. Oh, God. I'm so lucky. I know people with allergies, it's a nightmare for them. I'm apparently not allergic to anything. Well, I'm allergic to people's BS, but that's about it. But I think most people are allergic to that kind of stuff. And brands trying to be trendy, that annoys me. I get it, it's modern advertising and all that, but I really enjoyed the Silence brand, or whatever it was. Was it Silence brand, or... It was something like that, yeah. What's the drink of choice tonight, Cat? Well, in my predictable way, a nice cup of tea. It usually is as well. You found a new Lucasade flavour. Oh God, I ripped into Lucasade. They advertised, I think it was a random ad on Facebook for Lucasade energy drink, 0 sugar. Where's the energy then? And I said, you don't see the sugary drinks give you energy because they've got sugar in them. You take the sugar out, there's no energy in the drink. I mean, you know. I still think of Lucasade as Cause Sand is raiding with a party of 4. Thank you for the raid and welcome to the stream, raiders. Yeah, I've lost my thread now. Yeah, Lucasade to me was this glass bottle with like a transparent plastic crinkly wrap around it that was coloured orange as well. And you only ever got it when you were poorly, kind of thing. You know, if you had like a flu or the cold or something like that when you were a kid, you got, you know, you'd get Lucasade in a glass. It was like basically horrible, and a lot of people just thought of it kind of like medicine, you know. So, and now they're this big, you know, Lucasade energy drink. I remember that there was they used an Iron Maiden track called Phantom of the Opera, and Daley Thompson, you know, advertised it for them. So he's drinking the drink, and you got bound diddly down 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 down. Oh yeah, you know, modern British, the 80s British metal thing, really good. And suddenly they went, this medicine you got when you were sickly. Suddenly they were, you know, oh, you know, great drink, this gives you energy, kind of thing. Suddenly it changed. Weird. I'd love to show you that advert, but with Iron Maiden being on it, it probably got a copyright strike or whatever. Yeah, Lucasade. Was it Daley Thompson? Yeah, 1985 advert. I'm just going to mute the stream a second. Make sure this is the right one. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, that's the one. It was. Hang on, I'll get you the link for it. There you go. That's when LucasAid was when it started to change. Yeah. If I show that advert, I'll get a copyright for sure. You feel the core of your being shift as Source makes room for a divine presence. You say MP has reached enlightenment. Congrats. This one's Raspberry Ripple. Is it raspberry flavour, right? Okay. I don't even know what flavour the original LucasAid was. It just tasted of LucasAid. It was just very, very syrupy, sugary kind of thing. Ooh, weird. Are we getting a Savik for the Sector 42? Have they disappeared? I think Savik has lurked away, I think. She might have gone off and made herself a drink and a sandwich or something. Who knows? I'll redo my baths. Yes, I will. Yeah, so I'll get these headphones tomorrow, and if I get them before sort of tea time, I'll probably do a bit of a stream just to try them out. Because until you're using them in the field, you don't really know, are they really going to work. Plus, I've got 30 days on them, so if I get them and think, no, these are terrible, they will go back. But I doubt that'll be the case. I've done quite a bit of research on them. I mean, Sennheiser are a very well-known brand when it comes to headphones. And microphones as well. In professional circles, yes, they are. I'm just wondering how many of the people that are actually stood here are here and not just like, yeah, chill. Like, the characters are stood here, but the players, I'm going to go off and have a sandwich or play another character and leave myself logged in here. Who knows? And one of them. No one's asked me to relog for anything else. I have offered and said, yeah, I can log something else, etc. So Raspberry Ripple flavour. Thing is, Raspberry Ripple probably doesn't have much to do with raspberries anyway. It's an ice cream, isn't it? Like Raspberry Ripple. She's like a concentrate of raspberry juice spread through it kind of thing. Something a little odd. I want to know how long my little thing does last. As we camp out here around the campfire. Bonfire. Oh, it only lasts 22 seconds. It burns brightly. I wonder if it will warm me if I sit by it. Does it last longer if you're sat next to it? I can't imagine it does. Nope, 8 seconds. They were an item from the old Shadowlands startup quest lines as well. You got like a stack of them. Ends Lyric, welcome to the stream. As he continues to mispronounce the person's name because reasons, yeah. So this is the slightly dull part of the evening while we're waiting another 30 minutes to get started on Sector 42. And then I'll have a bite to eat and maybe chill out and watch some TV again. I might watch the end of Loki. Have they confirmed Loki 2, Season 2 yet? Hang on. Curious now. It was very good. Loki TV series. I'll share you my screen here. They only done the one season so far. Audience rating, yeah, it deserves that rating. It is very, very good. And Tom Middleton, I can't think of it. What is his name? Middleston. It is Middleston, isn't it? Yeah. He's brilliant. I mean, he's a brilliant actor anyway, but also Owen Wilson in it. Really, really good. Have they confirmed Season 2 yet? Yeah, I think I got as far as episode 6 and it was pretty late by the time I was watching that. You know, the thing you really want to get to is like never on the front page of bloody IMBD, is it? I watched Eternals. It was all right. It wasn't amazing. It was, it was okay, kind of a thing. Mercurial villain Loki. Mercurial. 7 episodes. Oh, right. So let's have a look. Season 1. I don't think I've watched that one yet. Season 2, yet to be confirmed, I think. I think maybe they've greenlit Season 2, but they haven't made it yet. I joined Sector 42, but I'll be eating soon and on a hard 24/7 week. Oh, God. Crazy people doing these hours. Don't know how you do it. I really don't. So are you just on call 24/7, are you? For a full 7 days, I'd go nuts. Because you just can't settle to anything, can you? How big is my holiday candelabra? Not very. Looking through all my silly stuff I got during the during the Christmas thing. Oh, I got Funny Arrow as well. They're quite good. That old gag. But it is meant to be like a comedic version. You know, you can see the bit as it goes over your head. Excuse me. No excuse to be yawning. I haven't done any work since yesterday, and it wasn't a lot of work I did then. Well, we're getting some people here. We're just doing single side tonight, or double. 2 sides or single? I suppose it depends on alliance, doesn't it? Etc. So Raspberry Ripple Lucasade. I'm curious now. I'm going to have to... LU, isn't it? Like, yeah, there you go. Raspberry Ripple Lucas. I'm going to get loads of ads for it now. What? £7 for a drink of pop? Ingredients at Tesco. 15.7 grams of sugar. In what? In one? In one glass? In one drink? Oh my God. That's insane. Just for a thing like a teaspoon of sugar in grain, 4 grams, 15 grams of sugar in one drink. Which is it? 1 teaspoon of sugar is 4 grams. 1 gram of sugar is... Oh, right, okay. Is that right? Is that for the whole pack or something? Not one. It's got to be. Each 380 ml, 15, nearly 16 grams of sugar. So... Oh my God, it's like 4 spoonfuls of sugar in one drink. Yeah, but it gives you energy. That's bonkers. You should never drink stuff like that. Imagine someone gave you a cup of tea with 4 sugars in it. Oh, God. I mean, 4 teaspoons of sugar is like... I'm always amazed how much sugar is in stuff. I mean, yeah, thing is, when you ingest sugar as well, your body's reaction to it, if it doesn't need food, is it stores that sugar as fat, as body fat. It's not fatty food that makes you fat. It's excess carbs that make you fat. You ask any sportsman, dietitian, guy in a gym, whatever, they'll tell you that. Well, let's have a look. Let's find a Monster energy drink. Let's have a look. Right. Monster energy drink. Let's see how much sugar is in a normal can. Sugar content. Let's have a look. 75 milligrams of salt, sodium. 11 grams of sugar. 36 milligrams of caffeine. It's like a bloody espresso with a load of sugar in it. Oh, that's bad for you. Vitamin D, 0. Vitamin C, 0. Calcium, 0. Iron, 0. Vitamin B6, more than you probably need. And what's this other one? Carbonanium and magnesium. My God. It hasn't even got any vitamin C in it. What a terrible drink. Teaspoons of sugar. 5. 5 teaspoons of sugar. Oh, God. Why is Carlos searching for poisons online? We started talking about energy drinks and now we're just talking about how bloody awful they are. Excess anything will make you fat. Yeah, but usually your body tries to use fat for energy first. That's why if you put suet and seed out for birds, they'll eat all the suet straight away. And then once it's gone, then they'll start on the seeds, unless there's a lot of birds, and then the smaller birds will eat the seed because they can't get to the suet. excess of water. Oh, you can drink too much water and kill yourself drinking too much water too quickly. It happened to someone. Famously, it was a young girl at a party who, I think she took a drug like E or something like that, and then freaked out. And someone at the party said, "Oh, if you drink water, it'll flush through your system faster." So he started drinking loads and loads of water and killed herself, not from the E, but from the amount of water she drank. It's kind of nuts. It's like horrible, terrible tale. Yeah, if you do absolutely nothing and eat and drink, and the only thing you eat is like, white meat and protein shakes, you'll still get fat because you're not burning anything off. Yeah, obviously. But the quickest way to give yourself too many carbs is sugar. Anything with calories, yeah. But fatty food in moderation doesn't make you fat. I know, it was awful. She was only a kid, It got ecstasy. At the time, it wasn't really a known quantity, but it ended up with it being criminalised and blah, 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 blah. But it was actually an excess of water that she drank that killed her. Terrible. It was, one of those really sad tales. The coroner recorded death by misadventure or something. Yeah, the stacking order for your body for fat is sugars, carbs, fats, then proteins, yeah. Like I probably have, the natural, from your lips to your arsehole, you're basically the same as a pig. Human beings, They're very, very similar digestive systems. We can eat just about anything. I'm not saying you should eat just about anything, but you kind of can. But your body instinctively knows. Your brain is essentially fat, Which is why I know some vegetarian couples. I remember when, and they'd been vegetarian for 5 years before they had kids and all that. But when they had kids, they let them have fish. The argument, I remember the discussion at the time, is like, well, fish don't have an emotional center to their brain, or any kind of memory. Fish are basically stupid. So they can eat fish. Otherwise, we'll retard their brain growth, Yeah, there's that. Is it keto or something like that diet they do? Where you eat lots of dairy and stuff like that, but you don't have any sugars, you don't have tons of rice, you don't have potatoes, starchy foods, none of that, no bread. It's like high fat, low carb diet. Apparently, it's actually quite healthy for some people. Not all people. Depends how active you are, Improved nano repulsor from healing fast. Nice. Try. Is it pronounced keto? I don't know. You tried it for 2 weeks. Yeah, I do like bread though and things like that. So, but I also like veg. So I wouldn't want to sort of give up on that. You quit so hard. Like you did it for so long and then, I can't handle this. I've seen like some YouTubers that aren't about diet and lifestyle or anything at all, but they've done it. And they swear by it. But I guess you've got to find a diet that works for you if you need to diet. I was vegan for just over a year afterwards. I understood that I can't live without good steak. Yeah, we're not, by nature, we're not a vegetarian animal, but you can supplement your diet. If you can go vegetarian and eat dairy to make up for the lack of fats and proteins and stuff like that. But the whole vegan thing, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit of a cult, really. Kind of, it has a lot of traits that you associate with a cult, which concerns me about it, and I couldn't do it anyway, no way. I mean, what you eat is your choice. It's not for me to criticise what anybody else eats unless they're, hurting sentient life to do it, No, you can't eat children sort of thing. I would have a problem with that. But, Yeah, if there's like a underlying medical condition or, something like that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people swear by high carb and high exercise as the healthiest way to live, so they eat tons of carbs in the mornings, but they'll go out on like 100-mile bike ride every day as well. So I guess that balances itself out. But, a lot of people can't do that, so... I just enjoy and eat the food you enjoy and try and stay healthy. That's my take on it. But if at all possible, avoid white stuff. So sugar, salt, anything like that. Try and avoid that. You'll probably be okay. And there was a good rule of thumb as well. If you didn't make the meal, don't eat the meal. Was another one, but there's so much like microwave ready and oven chips and things like that, So try not to eat processed food. Processed food is really bad. We know it is. That a micro meal lamb kebab is not healthy. Homemade pickled onions, yeah. Yeah, my Mrs. Callis too does a bit of pickling. She likes pickles. I like those, the little white silver skins you always get a jar for Christmas. God, I like them. I couldn't eat them all day, but, when I have them, I do quite like them. Ooh, yeah, energy drinks, bad. I mean, I think there's a case to be made for them to exist and all that, but they're kind of marketed like, oh God, I don't know. If you're on a long car journey, and you've got no choice, you've got to finish this car journey and you're tired, then something like caffeine and sugar is kind of okay because, you need that to stay safe on the road. So there's a case to be made for it. It's like climbers taking Kendall's mint cake, which essentially is just a bar of sugar. But if you're in the freezing cold up a mountain, you're probably burning a lot of calories anyway, So it kind of, as a survival aid, does make sense. But, you bite into Kendall's mint cake and you kind of feel your teeth fizzing away. It's nice, though. No, she came for dinner. Yeah, that's nice. I think my mum's been gone, 11 years now. Or is it 2022? With 2020 being the way it was, it feels like I've lost a year somewhere. NFTs, pictures of zero, bring the cycle to a bull to, yeah. The whole NFT thing is just a massive, massive con. It really, truly is. It's like the Emperor's in the altogether. And some doofus on, I think it was on Twitter, made some tweet and they said something like, you know, you could buy this exclusive NFT and like a skin for your character and have that on dozens of different games. And then like about 1,000 game devs went, no, no, you can't. What the hell are you talking about? A guy, like a team of them trying to promote it, just got absolutely ripped the crap out. And it's a massive BS thing for thieves as well. Like there's a couple of YouTubers who, without being asked, without being, you know, contacted in any way, shape or form, have had an image taken of, you know, their channel logo or them in a video turned into an NFT and being sold. And it's got nothing to do with the person in the picture. And these people are trying to sell them for hundreds of dollars. And it's like, what the It's like, has no one heard of right-click save as? You know, save image as. I don't care if it's not a unique copy. The funny thing is, everyone knows NFTs are a huge grift, except CEOs. Oh, they don't understand half of the mechanics behind the stuff they're in charge of. They almost never do these days. Someone tried to do a picture of Tolkien. I bet the Tolkien estate had something to say about that. I saw someone posted a picture of Tolkien, and just to wish them, to wish Tolkien happy birthday in memorandum. And the Tolkien estate had something to say about them using that picture. And it was just a tweet. It was just like, happy birthday, Tolkien. Thank you for the wonderful books and stories and characters, blah, 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 blah. You know, you've changed my life, blah, blah, blah. Happy birthday. And the actual official, you know, Tolkien, or whoever the curators of the Tolkien estate, have you got permission for that picture? You know, so someone trying to create money from a picture they don't actually own. It is a massive, massive grift. I feel sorry for anyone that's bought it because, you know, their only crime is being gullible. But, you know, they've just been well and truly scammed. Aren't they known as bar stewards? Yeah, I think maybe. People do. It's like the scalpers. The reason that they're not going to get rid of scalpers suddenly is the scalpers have been around a lot longer than computers and technology and all that. So all this, you know, scarcity, it invites these in. You know, if you look at it like nature, you know, like the little fish that eat food from between the big shark's teeth and the shark just lets them do it. You know, they're like an opportunist niche that their species survives with. And no one will eat them. A medium-sized fish won't come near them while, you know, because they're right next to a bloody great big fish. So the big fish gets free dental and the little tiny fish gets, you know, a safe place to live. So it's a bit of symbiosis. Where scalpers come in is they're operating with the same sort of nature in play, but they've always been around. They're outside sports grounds 50 years ago. You had your ticket touts, and they were people that would buy a bunch of tickets and then on the day know that people would show up without a ticket and hope to get one on the day, and they'd be outside waiting for them to be turned away without tickets going, I've got tickets, and sell them at a profit. It's called scalping. It's illegal. But how do you stop it once you've got the internet and eBay and, you know, and everything else? Relistings, you can lie and say, no, I bought it. I'm not scalping. It's just that's how much they go for these days. You know, it's very hard to prove, but yeah. So that they've just seen a new, they're like, parasites just seen a new niche. They're already doing it with TVs, they're doing it with concert tickets, they do, anything like that. And they make a living out of it and probably make quite a good living out of it for very little effort. So getting rid of them is going to be incredibly difficult. And then the people mining Bitcoin and getting out quick, are going to make money. But anyone that thinks it's going to last forever and not go bang is going to wind up with a room full of hardware they can't shift. No money. All Bitcoin is just gambling. It's just online gambling without any licensing. And as soon as it'll take another 3 to 5 years before governments actually realise that's what it is, because they don't really understand the internet. The internet can't keep up with itself. It develops so quickly, and countries just there's no literally they're falling over themselves to tax people correctly when they make YouTube videos and or stream online. They have to put themselves down as entertainers. And, things that already exist, the tax system just can't keep up with it. It's just changing too quickly. Every streamer is like big, proper streamer, not me, but like a real streamer, with thousands of people watching every stream. They're part entertainer, part cult leader, but in a benign way, hopefully, and stuff like that. But they're an entertainer, they're a technician, and a lot of them are solo. So they're kind of, they're also a film crew, sound, wardrobe, makeup, lighting. They're the whole thing that was 20 people's jobs on their own. On a, to a government, what is essentially like what's this newfangled thing? They're just nowhere near where things actually are. Even the internet can't keep up with the internet. It's developing that fast. It's nuts. So the people who are making, decisions about the legality of stuff, it took so much effort for countries to realise that loot boxes are gambling. We actually had people that had so hard-faced, they would stand in front of a judicial committee and say, they're not gambling, they're surprise mechanics. And they tried it in Britain, and Britain just went, oh, fuck off. Surprise mechanics. That's your excuse. It's gambling. We're legislating you. There you go. You can't buy loot boxes unless you're 18 plus. Same rules apply, and you'll be taxed on the profits from that in this country as though you are a casino. Next. They'll do that with Bitcoin as well. You watch. They will. They're slow to get their boots on with stuff like this, but they will. And once they get those boots on, then they start stamping on stuff. Yeah, when the representatives, I think they were actually representatives of EA as well, and it's more to do with their sportsing games like FIFA or whatever it's called. And when they said it, they basically laughed in their face at surprise mechanics. I mean, they were too polite to actually, head back and laugh. But when they said it, there was like a, no, it isn't. It's gambling. It's exactly what it is. Keep putting money in and hope to get the thing you want. So that's not a transaction or surprise mechanics. That is a slot machine. That is gambling. the mental loops and logic loops they went through to try and say it wasn't. It was like, what's that lawyer called on The Simpsons? You know the one I mean? He's like, he's useless, but he tries real hard. It was kind of like him. It was just like, it made me laugh anyway. I was glad that they did put the legislation in place, though. Make sure you're buffed up, fish out your cores, and get ready. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Has my core at the ready. I'm stood next to the man. Donuts is crawling around still. Yeah, so the whole scalping thing, what they're doing is technically illegal. It's the same as ticket touting. The scalper, word for it, which is kind of a slang anyway, resellers and whatnot. That's kind of become the meta and it's stuck now kind of thing. Code name Pi1. Hey guys, downloaded AO again, but it keeps crashing on startup. Try to use the Steam version of the client. Correct. What's the resolution you're trying to run it at? You try and run the old client at anything over 1080. Because they're not a licensed seller. That's why, HodorRaid. They're not paying taxes as a business, but they're running one. That's illegal. There's a difference between, you buy something, 1024 by 768. Well, it should be fine at that resolution. Yeah, but are they paying business rates? Because they have to. If you're doing it as a business, and you surely are if you're turning over 10,000 cards a year or, they won't be. They won't be paying any taxes on it or declaring it. And that's why it's illegal. Once the governments figure out they're basically ticket touts, they'll just crank down on them. Because it is a crime in the UK, at least. And it was a crime everywhere. Yeah, 1024 by 768. Steam version, the new client. Yeah, Steam version is just the old engine. Window mode, create old DirectX. Have you installed... Which Windows are you on? Or are you even on Windows? I'm assuming you are, but if you're on Windows, you will need the older DirectX. But you need... the easiest way to get it is to install an old game, because a lot of old games used to come with the it should run okay on Win 10. I'm on Win 10 right now, with an engine fix, so I can run at higher resolution. I'm actually running at 1440p, but streaming out at 1080 because Twitch. The resolution is the kind of resolution people were running the game at on, CRT monitors back, 20 years ago. Yeah, the DirectX you need, let me see if I've got a link for it. DirectX 7, 8. But if it's not running any of them, it doesn't even like it. It's so long ago, it thinks I'm talking about a synthesizer. Now, there's an old version link here. It's got a high rating. Let's have a look. See if this site's anything like trustworthy. Yeah, something like this. If you've installed old games, though, usually it'll install it for you. But is it just like as soon as do you get the launcher and then it crashes? Yeah, if you've got like an old, I don't know, if you're on Steam, if you've got Half-Life or something like that, the original Half-Life. I mean, I've got 2 video links on how to get the game running. Hang on. Yeah, so new engine, tweaking the new engine. That's me. I can recommend that video because I made it. On Test Live, that's me again. That was an older one. That's out of date now, really. But and then also you got that one. And another one of mine. You could try that as well. Have a watch of some of those. You've watched both, yeah. The DG, what I'm doing at the moment is using DG Voodoo. So the game thinks it's running in DX11 at the moment. Sometimes that can fix it because it uses a DX wrapper. It does run quite nicely with it as well. Oh, we got another one. You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Sito Chaksa, I think that says, has reached enlightenment. Congrats. Yeah, have a good fiddle with it. Get into the NVIDIA settings and stuff. And for the new engine, it's not just NVIDIA Inspector you want. You want to type in. Everyone seems to get this wrong, so I'm mentioning it. NVIDIA Profile Inspector, yeah, because it doesn't come by default. Yeah, Profile Inspector you want from probably Guru 3D is probably your best bet. So look, yeah, it doesn't spam you with a ton of ads and crap. Yeah, you used to get it by clicking on there, which is what's in the video, but the newer versions, you just get a file instead that does it, because then you can really get under the hood and get to settings that aren't in the normal NVIDIA control panel as well. Windows answers, let's have a look. What do they suggest? Well, there's not a lot of help there, is there? Oh, God, manage cookies. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. How much crap have I got to go through just to get to the link? Answer, let's have a look. Well, it doesn't actually answer it. Legacy components and check it. Oh, there you go. That's your answer, I think, there. Press the Windows key on your keyboard. Search for that. Hang on. Well, I obviously have that running on mine, I guess. Windows. I have to use my other monitor to get to the taskbar. Windows features. Nothing? Turn Windows features on and off. Ah, there we go. So it'll be, yeah, just search Windows features and legacy components. Direct play. Yeah, there you go. That is probably what's missing there. Time to make a new video. That's already checked. Oh, God. Let's have a look. What else have they got in here? No, nothing much. I can imagine that relating to it, though. Legacy components, and that didn't fix it either. That's weird. I'd try DG Voodoo. That'll probably brute force it. Zinzig, welcome to the stream. I wonder if my 3090 is causing any... Well, congrats on the 3090. What was your card beforehand, and did you do a complete uninstall of your old graphics card and drivers? A 1080, right. Do you know DDU is? You need to completely... Yeah. If you had... Yeah, display driver uninstaller. Get this. Do the full safe mode complete uninstall. And then when you start in AO... Let me just get that. When you get to AO... Click on the settings here. Now, I get multiple because I'm using DG Voodoo. So it sees that as a separate card. Plus it sees the second monitor as another option to render the game. Just make sure it's selected correctly there. 522. What? Why 522? What the hell? That's not right. 5,000 and what? No. I'm just found. Yeah, 2560. That's very weird because it's not running at that. I know, I don't know. Oh, I know what that is. That was, oh God. Yeah, I was showing someone what you could do with DSR. You can scale and whatnot. And it's still in there, but it's not running the game at that. It's running the game at the, 2560 by 1440, 522. That's, and that's nuts. I think that's 21 by 9 or more, isn't it? Or something. A friend of mine recommended me a few days ago to go and watch me streaming. Did not know that you already did. And that you're in some of the streams on a character playing them. Yeah. Good job. Was it like... Didn't know at all. He'll get a shock when he sees you in one of the videos, then, won't he? Being on screen text and then coming off and doing like a raid instance or something. Okay, guess what? I'll be doing my first Title 7 Subway. Yay! Get in there. Show him who's boss. Don't go in lightly. Go in focused and heavy. That's how you do that dungeon. Yeah, we should. Normally we would have stepped by now. We're like running over time a bit, but hey, does happen. Yeah, I can't remember what I thought I was going to do with that. Is it remembered that now? Let's just double check. I remember doing it on a stream, but yeah, look, it's because I've got predefined up here. So whatever I typed in there. Yeah, I think I know. I remember doing it because someone said that was the resolution of their monitor, and I was like, what? I've got to see this. and just switched on DSR scaling and then just ran it at that. And it was like, whoa. It was like having eyes round the back of your head. It was weird. They said it was really cool, though. That's not looking good. There are people relogging for cores and taking forever. Oh, God. I mean, is it just me that has, like, a primary backpack that I always keep on the character full of bits I know I'll probably need for one thing or another? Is it just me that does that? Or? I was hoping to be halfway through Sector 42 by now. It's only 2:09, but AI 30. It always used to be like the very second to last thing you'd ever get. Like, you finished like most of your research and then AI 30, Apotheosis 10. But now it's like, whoa, Yes, is dragging a little bit. It has been here for like an hour, or I have anyway. My cup of tea is completely cold, and what's left of it in the bottom of the cup, or the pint mug. Oh, come on, let's get on with it. We've discussed energy drinks, diet. We're running out of things to talk about. Come on. Deary me. Wolfgang951 was going to say I left you when you first got to Sector 42. Come back and doesn't like you've moved. I know. Sorry, dude, it's out of my hands. Is it time to discuss the meaning of life? Life has whatever meaning you project upon it. It has no inherent meaning. I mean, if you're talking about nature, nature's thing is to just it's like this. If something has a propensity to replicate, then logic will select for that. Something that keeps trying to keep going eventually does. So, yeah, 42. There you go. Now, we were talking about the little fish that eats bits of food out of the shark's mouth, around its teeth, so without any form of design, the logic therefore dictates that the fish doesn't get eaten because the bigger shark, they're not worth eating, they're not worth chewing, they're too small, and they get free dental, and medium-sized fish don't eat them because they're next to a bloody shark or similar bigger fish, so they get left alone. So they get security and food. The shark loses nothing and gains, clean mouth. Supposed to start showing a few hours here, expecting... snowing here, expecting 9 to 12 inches. Ooh. We haven't had any good snow in the UK for like a decade now. I miss it. It's a shame, my lad. You know, I wish he could have seen some proper winters. Like he did see the one in 2010, but I was so busy working, barely had any chance, you know, to spend any time with him in it. You're giving someone geography lessons in team chat, yeah. Favorite one is like, oh, you're from Britain. Is that in London? What? Things like that always make me laugh. Hollywood's version of London versus reality is quite different. You're in Warrington. You're not that far from me. I'm in North Wales. You're further north than me as well. Not a lot, but, you know, further north, more snow. I mean, we get it on the mountains, but you've got to go off to the mountains, and we haven't been able to do that for a couple of years with bloody lockdowns and all that malarkey going on. Yeah, many, many moons ago, before I moved to London, I used to see a girl in Warrington. I remember I used to work all day, then do a gig in the pub nearby, and then after we finished up at the pub, we used to drive her all the way back to Warrington, and then we'd be up all night. Oh, to be young again. What have we got here? You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Nemocrat has reached enlightenment. Congrats. Well, from North Wales now, it's like an hour. It's not that far. God, I used to come home. I used to drive from London back to North Wales on the weekends, at least once a month when I lived in London. No, before I lived in London. Not while I lived in London. No. But I did used to drive London. I could do it in 3.5 hours, usually. But I'd go from where I was on the east side of London. So I'd go like the M11, M25, M6. Then I'd cut off the M6 and get on the A5, then pick up the 483, avoiding all, the rest of the M6 and the toll roads and stuff. It's so much more direct as well, and the A5 is like as wide as a motorway anyway for most of it. Then you pick up the 483 and then swing left at like Chester, and then you're on the 55 and just burn all the way down that until it got to North Wales. I can remember being on the M25 one day, and it was just getting light, so it was like 6-ish, 6:30, 7 in the morning. I.T.O. Derry has subscribed. They have subscribed for 8 months. Thank you for the resub, I.T.O. Derry. And it was so foggy and misty. I was going along and I was behind someone going, oh, come on. And overtook him, got in front and went, oh, Christ, without taillights, you've got no idea how far, what's ahead of you, and then slowed down. It was nuts. It didn't clear till we were halfway up the M6 either. Then we start to remember stuff again and show us how old we are. I know. Remembering doing things like thinking nothing of doing like ton 15, ton 20 all the way home. Not worry about it. Try doing that now. With all the cameras on the road and everything else. I wouldn't trust myself driving those speeds now anyway. I haven't done it for too long, and, I mean, we were taking an Irish girl to North Wales and we were flying past the cars, and she was like, well, all these cars going so damn slowly, it's like they've parked on the motorway. I was like, no, they're doing 70. We're just doing 130. Which you should never do. My definition, you are older. Yeah, I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I'm not sure what the distance is, so where I used to live. Well, where my olds live, so where I would come back to. So Rislan to London. Yeah, see, it tries to send you down the M6. 4 hours. No. I can come up with a much quicker way than that. Yeah, that's the silly way. Yeah, because you want to avoid Birmingham. But it sends you to the M56 as well. What's this one? I am keeping an eye on the in-game chat. Why? I hate when it does this. It gives you these straggly bits. You're like, why would that even exist? Why? Yeah, 483. And then, where's the A5? I don't know, my map's completely ballsed up now. Need to keep an eye on there for when we go. Right. I never could get why it does this. Why would you, what the fucking hell is this shit? Come on, Google. Seriously. Why would you even give up? Google Maps are just donk. Just add more Yeah, why? Yeah, of course, I'm going from A to B, but let's stop off at 50 different bloody cafes on the way, yeah. First time chat from viewer, ex-Brolly. Just add more destinations, I know. No, you should be able... On my sat-nav in my Jag, I can just go like that, put it on the 483, and it recalculates the route using an A road instead. It doesn't leave a straggly bit over there. That's just crap. That's just terrible design. Terrible programming. If they can get it right in a bloody old farts car like a Jag, why can't they get it right on Google Maps? They've got all that money. I did more points. Oh, right. Okay. We'll try again. Right. So that is nowhere near the quickest way. Right, first off, okay, so we're doing that. Yeah, you go round Shrewsbury, Yeah, it's more or less that, I think. Is that the M54? God, why is that so bloody small? Why make that small? It's smaller than any other words. Trying to read it, you know. Wolverhampton, yeah, I think that's about it, yeah. That's more or less the route I'd go. It says 4 hours, 12 minutes. Yeah, not when I do it. Yeah, it was kind of like that. It avoided a lot of the congestion anyway. And the thing was, I wouldn't go straight out of London that way anyway. Change London to Leighton. It just does the same thing yet again. Why would you go all the way up to the M56, for God's sake? When you don't have to. It's a horrible road, the 56, if you don't know. It's always congested. Yeah, it's at least figured that out. Drive out this way. I used to live in, actually, it was Leytonstone I lived in, but yep. Looks legit. All right, we're going. It's time, everyone. Good God, I'd forgotten what I was doing here. I've been waiting that long. Here you are. Here's my authorization, my very good fellow. Right, there we go. We got one of those. Grant you access. I accept the mission. Please give me access. And goodbye. Right. Yay, we didn't cock it up. Go us. It's for young. You told the pro you wanted to pass through those points, yeah. Yeah, A5 and the 483 is way, way faster than going up the M6, M56 way. Plus, you go through toll roads on the M6. There's no need to go through. Current callers may have changed. It has. Okay. Copy. Pasta. There we go. Which one are we on? I've not been paying attention. Been complaining about Google Maps doesn't work correctly. It does. I'm just not very au fait with it. And I think some of the way it's done is wrong. Like, you're looking at a motorway zoomed in and you're like, which motorway is this? And instead of like having a nice big block saying this is the M, whatever it is, it's as wide as the road is. And then some little faff-arsed little B road off on the left, twice the font size. It's completely arse about face. I'm sorry, but it is. Yeah, we are really running quite late at the minute, 35 minutes due past. Yeah, the sat nav in the Jag. I mean, it's what I did update the DVD that it runs maps from, which is a dual layer thing. You know, I made a copy because it didn't know my street, even though the street had been there like 3 or 4 years by the time that car came into production. You know, still didn't know it because the map was older, and it works so much better than that. Can't flag in Sector 42 anymore. Did they block flagging in here somehow? Oh dear. I remember when PvP flag got introduced. My God, it was bedlam. It really didn't work well. The old PvP thing was you entered gas and you'd get maybe get a message in your chat window, which was a single window, so everything else was in there as well. So there was you couldn't separate it out and put different channels in different windows or anything. It was just one window, everything in it or not. You could turn them on and off, but that's all you could do. And quite often you'd zone into 25% gas without realising. And it was like a 5-second counter or something, less. Because you couldn't enter the gas and meet me there and get to the grid before you were attackable. It's not like now. If it was gas there now, it wouldn't be a problem. You'd get to the grid before your timer ran out. But you didn't used to be able to. Mind you, at the same time, max level was 200. And as soon as you hit level 75, everyone at 200 could attack. So it wasn't a good time for most people. Get trapped in Uncle Bassett's little office. We go in, come on. When you wore the red glyph. What? What, the blue glyph that made your name go red? Or something? I'm not sure what you mean. That was quite cool, that, as well. Yeah, it was a weird blue thing that turned your name red when you wore it. It was a bug, and they got rid of it. Let's roll west. Go west, young man. Whatever the Pet Shop Boys tune was. Oh, is the target is not in a fight? Well, none of our callers in a fight. Oh, now they are. Maybe I'm a bit laggy, I think. Game can't keep up with all the sound triggers because it's playing WAV files. All the pew-pews, etc. I was watching someone was streaming the game the other night and the sound of the game turned off. Like, in-game. It was like, ooh. But they didn't have any kind of background music on either. And they weren't talking a lot. I was like, okay, different. Are we just killing these tonight? Looks like we is. Or maybe not. You're going the wrong way. Yes, I was. For some reason, I thought east was west. God knows why. Brain fart. That was all right. I realised before I went too far. Definitely a little laggy in here this evening. Just saying. There's like a lot of bodies. The last couple of raids we've done, though, it's been like 2 teams. Are you with us, Yumi Himi? I'm looking. There's so many names, I cannot see you. Unless you're on a different tune as well. Yeah, I've had most of a raid force running up the wrong way. I mean, you've only got to glance at your mini-map to realise, oh, wait a minute. All the little blue and white dots go in a different way. You're not in Sector 42 today. Okay. I think it's because I come in here on the old engine, and on the old engine it's really dark down here. You get nighttime on the old engine in canyons and things like that. It's really dark. I can remember getting night vision goggles and actually wearing them so I could see where I was going in the early days of the game. You know, dark in Varmint Woods was like, I am in a coal mine in midnight during a total eclipse. I'm on board an alien mothership. Yay! I saw the cocoon and tried to mouse target on it. Wasn't very successful. Finishing the AI daily. Oh, was it AI week from the Arbiter? So much pew pew going on the audio. Coming up on the minefield. Gamel 11111. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. On the main computer this evening. We know because he's Gamel 11111 and not Gamel 0007. Just in from the spoon. The spoon? What? What even is wither? Oh, you've been to Witherspoons. Oh, my God. You'd been back sooner, but you went to the toilet in a Witherspoons. They're the old converted cinemas, aren't they? Most of them. Cocooned right on top of the alien thing. I can't click it. Where is my mouse? I cannot see. There it is. Boof. Check NCU. Avoid the mines. My God, it's dark. Mixed grill in a pint for £9. Go to a... Oh, you won't have... I don't know where you live, but try and go to a Lee's pub for a decent pint. And the food's better. And the staff are paid properly. Yeah, I haven't been inside a Witherspoons for about 15 years. Abbott's Ale $1.99. Oh, God. Is that a good pint or... £10 for a Guinness? What? Nah, proper pint of bitter from J.W. Lee's pub for like £3.50. God, it's a nice pint though. And the food's excellent. Hodor v Fence. 0-1. Yeah, you wouldn't get those prices in Wales, though, because they got minimum alcohol pricing. So, like, the Witherspoons here has died on its arse because it's not cheaper than anywhere else anymore. So the alkies, just sit on the street, like they used to. 99 pence for a pint of John Smith's. Are you kidding? God, I haven't seen £1 a pint for years. John Smith is all right. It's not my favourite, but it's all right. Any port in a storm and all that. Yeah, that's a loss leader. That's getting you in for the food. Yeah, beer prices, alcohol prices in Wales and Scotland are not the same. You'll get it in England as well. Mark my words. They did it with the no smoking inside pubs and places. They did it in Wales and Scotland first, and then it rolled out across the rest of England. They did it with plastic bags. 2007, we got rid of plastic bags for free in shops. And it was like people would come over from Englandshire and go, "What do you mean I've got to pay for a bag?" I go, "What's the law? Can't give you a free bag. Sorry." And they'd insist that, "Well, I'm from England." Yes, you're in Wales now. You're in another country. Me and the wife, I spoil a dinner and a beer, £20 with charge, with change. It is cheap, yeah. The local ones are sort of around here, though. You go in and you just walk straight back out. They're really horrible. Yeah, we used as a rate. The Western world uses way too much plastic. I mean, you think back to how it used to be when you got your milk from the milkman. He brought it around in bottles that could be recycled in an electric vehicle. Okay, the milk was more expensive, but we had a milkman right up until he retired. Believe it or not, and it wasn't that long ago either. Milk on the doorstep early in the morning. It used to deliver before it got light. So you had a chance to get your milk in before the birds got to it. I am cleaning, inverted commas, my underground garage and I make myself a man cave and I found a bottle of whiskey. My typing skills are a bit disrupted. That's not cleaning. That's going on an adventure. Going into the old garage and finding alcohol and then deciding that tidying can stop while you have a drink is an adventure, not tidying. My wife can hear you. Well, put some headphones on. Silly man. You are cleaning, yes. Oh, that smell, dear. Yes, that's rubbing alcohol. Terrible stain I'm trying to get rid of here. A few years back, I soundproofed this place, yeah. I mean, I don't make it. I mean, I don't make much noise up here. There's me talking, but that's just a person talking, you know. Can't hear me over the telly downstairs and stuff. And you can't hear the game through closed back headphones. And I never have a high volume with headphones. Quickest way to damage your hearing, headphones and those earbuds. My God, there's nowhere for your ear to get away from the sound pressure. What in my mouth? It's whiskey-flavoured mouthwash. Yeah, this was always the youngest child's room, this little room I'm in now. You can't get a bed where my desk is. You know, kid's bed. So after the girls left home, Wills was in here, my youngest. And then he got the other bedroom, which is the same size as the main bedroom. It's just the way the house is laid out. And this just became a dumping ground for a few years. And then we cleared it all out. And then I grabbed it. It took a while, but I grabbed it. Yeah, soundproofed underground garage. You can turn that into a studio, no problem at all. Especially if you've already done the hard part and soundproofed it. Because acoustic treatment and soundproofing are not the same thing. There's a bit of crossover, but they are not the same thing. But when people ask me what this is, you know, neighbours and think, what is that on the wall? Oh, for the guitars, you know, it's soundproofing. Oh, I've seen that on the telly, yeah. You know, there's no point having that conversation about, no, acoustic treatment deals with the reflectivity of the room and they don't care. You know what I mean? Why? As I said, it's my man cave. Yep. Yeah, you put your music on, your TV, your games, put it all down there. Your own little, like, you know. I mean, this is my little man cave as well. The rest of our house is quite tidy, but this room is a bloody tip. I feel more comfortable when it is. Mess always feels creative. I've got a pair of big speakers and I can finally have a place to hear some music. Yay. Whiskey SWE. Hello. Welcome to the stream. About to say quietly, big volumes are not good for your ears. Your ears were never designed to deal with modern day volumes. I'll tell you the truth. It was, I had my ears tested a couple of years back. Surprisingly good condition considering the abuse I've put them through. And the guy was telling me, he said, did you wear earbuds, anything like that? I said, not really. I says at night sometimes, you know, watching something in bed. And he goes, well, keep it on the lowest volume that is, that you can. And I was saying, oh, I always do. Yeah, I don't like loud headphones and stuff. And he explained, he says, and he says, watch your kids as well. He says, when you see someone, and if they're 6 foot away from you with earbuds in, and you can hear what they're listening to, they're literally damaging their hearing as you're looking at them. And I can remember being on the tube in London. There was a guy with, it was a CD Walkman then. It wasn't phones because didn't have them then. He had a CD Walkman and he had it on so loud, even on a tube train, I could hear what he was listening to. I was like, man, that guy's going to cry when he can't hear anymore. I told my wife, this is my bloody room, woke up in casualty. His wife going, no, carry on like that and this is your room, the ER ward. No, this was I think she wanted it as a sewing room for a while, but then I started with the videos and stuff. I used to wind her up. And I'd have, the telly and grandkids and noise in the background while I'm trying to, try and sound professionally recorded and things. So, yeah. To be clear, you gave 100 watt speakers a 10 watt power amplifier and you pump 1 watt. What? Oh, yeah, if your speakers are rated, I mean, your amp will distort usually at higher volumes. Your ears, the way your ears perceive sound distorts at higher volumes as well. Yeah, exactly. Source Slack. I've just ordered off Amazon because these they're good for what they are. They're source monitoring, so you could use these in a loud environment to check something, and you'd be able to tell if it was correct or not. And that's why I had them for I was working out doing stuff live with bands and all that, and for that they were great, and I kept them, and they they just carried on working and working and working, but they're not that comfortable for long periods, especially because they're closed back. So the sound stage is very narrow with them. Open back, you get much more stereo spread, which is important really for what I'm trying to do. But I've also got studio monitors in front of me. Some Yamaha HS5s, I think they're. Something like that. Anyway, they're great. They're really good. But yeah, I've just ordered some HD 599s. Can't quite stretch. I'd like some HD 600s, but I can't quite stretch to that. So, yeah, they're going to be the new ones. I've been saying if I get them at a reasonable time tomorrow, I'll take them out for a test drive stream, Yeah, that is exactly what you're saying there, sounds. Source Slack is they are they're open back, but also the actual pad is like velour, velour, or whatever kind of felt, kind of fabricy, so it doesn't make your skin sweat. These used to be leathery, but the inside of it now is the faux leather or whatever is just worn off, so they're not the best. Yeah, the ones I've ordered are... There you go. Just ordered these. So not expensive, but reliable. And they're acoustically quite flat. Yeah, the idea with this design is to have, so you're isolated from, outdoor sounds that aren't inside the headphones. Oh, the mass drop. Yeah, I was tempted by that. I saw that. LTT were promoting it. You have to replace the pads. Oh, wow. Yeah, similar to the 59. Yeah. The HD 600s are like another $100 or pounds more. But they are a better headphone as well. But I just can't quite do that one, you know. If I hadn't bought all the acoustic treatment and the DBX mic pre and, you know, and a better webcam and all the other stuff everyone told me to get. Oh yeah, and the arm. God, that made such a difference getting a good arm. I was just using an ordinary boom arm mic stand, you know, like a stage boom mic stand, and it was like every time you wanted to adjust it, you had to move from where you were, lean over and undo something to move it, and then do it up again, and no, it's not right. No, it's still not right. Whereas this is like, just put it where you want it and let go. It's like being an astronaut, you know. So for doing this sort of thing, it's really, really good. This is the Rode one, the PSA one. I think they've got a new one now where they filled in the little bars in it here. But I mean, this microphone, this is the Rode Broadcaster, plus this, it's like nearly a kilo of weight on the end of it, and it's just not bothered. I always forget I'm wired. I don't have any wireless headphones. I'm not a fan of wireless headphones. All those earbuds or anything like that, because you've got to charge the bloody things. Sennheiser had quite a good range of them for a while, where the stand you left them on charged them up as they were sat on it. That was quite good. But they changed that range quite a bit now. So they make it, but it's closed back instead of open back. And if I'm going to get headphones, they're going to be open back. So my ears can have a bit of a day off. You know? And be comfortable. I cannot really use wired headphones. The memory is too short. Yeah. Well, it's fine for what I'm doing. I'm just sat here as long as I remember to take them off before I get up. And I always do anyway. If you only ever use wired headphones, you learn to, you know, do that. But the better Sennheiser, instead of like two wires going up there, they go in one side on a cable that locks in. So you could just go like that and leave them on your head if you wanted to. We'll find out if if I find them comfortable, I'll keep them, and if I don't, I send them back. Drag the laptop with me. I can imagine it. Yeah, they could easily make. Apple did that magnetic connect thing. That was a great idea, by the way, but it's not original. They've had those on guitar cables for like 40 years. They're expensive, but yeah, it just does that. And if you can have it on a guitar cable, you could have it on headphone cable as well. That would be the way to go. So if you do it, it goes doink. That's what we need. Or an adapter that goes on the end of a 3.5 mil, eighth of an inch thing that then does it. Someone needs to do that. Yeah, they got rid of it. It was stupid. It was one of the best ideas they ever had. We're not ready to go yet. Come on. That's going to be useful with the water vehicle. Well done. Yeah, so Apple got rid of that. That surprises me, because I genuinely thought that was one of their better ideas. They brought it back this year, probably at 10 times the price. I think it made me laugh. They did the wireless earbuds and then sold you a cable that clipped onto it so you wouldn't lose them when they fell out. I saw someone with it and I was like, just buy a wired one, you doofus. Oh, I couldn't believe that they got that. He got people to buy that and think it was a great idea. I was like, God, you're gullible. You know, yeah, I'm sorry, but here's some wireless earbuds, and here's another $20. You can have a wire to clip on it so you don't lose them when they fall out. If you're out running, don't use wireless, you doofus. Oh, yeah, when you find stuff, you've no clue that you had it and yada yada. I would laugh my arse off if it would have killed that guy in the water vehicle there. He's really contributing. Yeah, we've had clear outs like that. When we cleared this room out, it was like, what the hell's this from? Yeah, the old junk you build up. I remember when I moved out of my first flat, I couldn't believe how much crap I'd accumulated. I was like, where the hell did all this come from? You know, it was kind of nuts. Yay, there you go. The boss is down. Carefully clear the seekers. Yeah, I've got no fear of the bloody things anymore. Thank you, Space Quest, for desensitizing me to seekers. Almost completely. Yeah, it's in our nature to... I mean, last year, I think, 2020, the first series of lockdown, so 2 years ago now, Mrs. Collis Sue was watching like these American shows, like Hoarders and stuff, where they'd go in and, oh my God, you know, when they've just got high, you know, stacked 6 foot high stacks of newspapers and Whiskey SWE. Will it be an alien event today? No. January 22nd at 19:30 hours UTC is the next one scheduled. There you go. Moved to Canada with 4 luggages. After 1 year and a half, we needed 2 moving trucks to move into the house. Now you need train. You need the whole damn train, yeah. Yeah, 2020, the alien raids will be bi-weekly, so on 1 week, off the next week, or every 2 weeks, you know. When you try and click on raid and it keeps on moving. There you go. At least I'm happy, not the only one having this issue. Yeah, no, we do. Everyone ends up hoarding. I've got stuff on my desk I seriously don't need. Like, I've got this old screwdriver. I think this is a PZ2. And I've got this one, a short one, and then I've probably got 5 more. I don't want to throw that away. Me and that one have got some history. Did loads of jobs with that one. You know, it's nuts, isn't it? 2022, it's lazy AI event year. It's not lazy. There's 2 ongoing roleplay stories as well, which arcs play important characters within it. So, you know, like, they'll play like Simon Silverstone or someone, or, you know, that kind of thing. for the roleplay event. So one weekend is going to be that, and the other weekend is going to be, alien fun. 26 alien events. So yeah, it's not lazy because they're doing something else. That's all. They're not being lazy. These are volunteers, doing this off their own back. No one's paying them. They're not staff. Okay. 26 AI events is enough to ding AI 30. One screwdriver, just realised I got a big box of screwdrivers, yeah. When you try and use an old type screwdriver on new screws and it doesn't work, it's because it's not, the angles are different on PZ screwdrivers, which most screws are nowadays. When you got to take some old crap together, you have to go back to the old one. That's my excuse for keeping it. I just turned off the sports ball game and came back. Are people talking the events team? No, not seriously. No, I think they're just saying, "Oh, only twice a week, part timers." Blah blah blah. I don't think they mean it. No, they would get a naughty step if they did. Don't use me as. Oh well. You got to remember, guys, a lot of the times I look at chat and go, oh, right. They're being quiet, but they're in the chat. There's various arcs and stuff drop by. So they do get to see this stuff, You got to be careful. You don't know who's listening. Especially Soto Mahoney, the ominous spy. Hello, my fellow clansmen. How do you do, my fellow clan? Let's say I'm drunk. How far through that bottle of mystery whiskey you found in the underground garage? Right, back me up on this, Soto Mahoney. Right, cleaning the place out, like getting all the boxes and crap out of a thing, that's one thing, right? But if you go down there and find interesting things and start investigating them and then find a bottle of whiskey and start drinking it, then definitely... It's not cleaning, it's an adventure. If you definitely, yeah, that's it. You got there and you got into your man cave to be, and when you got down there and found a bottle of whiskey and opened it, you did the full on, the Hobbit. I'm going on an adventure. Running upstairs to find the glass. Right, okay. Shall we find another streamist? Is there another streamist anywhere? Let's have a look. It's that time. I've been on for nearly 4 hours. It's long enough. Cohen is here. There's me. And someone I don't know. Cohen is here. Sounds good. Right. Let's go raid. Cohen is here. We're going to go raid them. I don't think he's doing RK19. Iron Man. Okie doke. We're going to go raid him, everybody. So go say hi to Cohen is here from me, and I will see you tomorrow, possibly. It might not be AO, though, where I'm trying out my new headphones, if they get here. I'm assuming they will. Yeah. Right. So thank you all, and bye for now.